Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now February 12th of 2024, and given that Disney and all of its divisions are really going in a downward spiral and have no sign of stopping at this point, due to the fact that 2025 is going to be full of expensive failures, we all know it and they know it, yet they keep doubling down on all of the expensive failures one after the other. That just goes to show you that Bob Iger lacks any kind of leadership skills and everything is 100% intentional on his part. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So there's a lot of things being done right now by Disney between their cost-cutting measures, between the firings across the board with Lucasfilm, Walt Disney Animation Studios, Pixar, Marvel Studios, and among other divisions out there as well. That's going to range up into the thousands eventually. We also have rate hikes on the horizon for Disney Plus and other business models. It's not looking good, but when it comes to Pirates of the Caribbean, alright, this is one thing that has been creating quite a stir, both behind the scenes and through the public eye, because of everything that happened with Johnny Depp and the whole Amber Heard situation that led to his firing from Disney, and how this is in turn leading Bob Iger to doubling down on Pirates of the Caribbean 6, or if you even want to call it that at this point, this Pirates of the Caribbean remake, if you will, is doubling down on their usage of DEI, and Bob Iger has a lot of things to talk about when it comes to all of this, and the response to the ongoing backlash against this upcoming film. Let's get into it. Now, what's interesting about this is that with Bob Iger already beginning to greenlight numerous projects that will fully embrace their DEI agenda, one major development has to do with Bob Iger's response to the public over their reimagining of Pirates of the Caribbean after Johnny Depp was fired years ago. As it turns out, Iger recently addressed the current backlash surrounding their plans for the film by delivering the following. As CEO, I believe it is my responsibility to acknowledge some concerns that our customers and shareholders may have with many of our plans for our upcoming installments, including our remake of the popular fantasy franchise Pirates of the Caribbean that we hope will respect all cultures and groups around the globe as we pursue a fresh approach to a new beginning for pirates by embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion into our film that will hopefully open the gateway to many other films that we have already talked over. What we here at Disney find to be irresponsible is for individuals attempting to convince others that our approach to this film is an agenda-driven strategy which is nowhere near the truth. Our push for embracing DEI into our latest Pirates film will be our way of reaching a far larger global audience that will of course, steer this popular film series in a new direction that we hope will serve as a foundation to the new normal on how we approach films and television for all of our divisions at the Disney company. We ask for everyone to keep inflammatory responses to themselves, as this is only a damaging process to the art that we hope to create into a wild success on the big screen for our audience members and shareholders to project a brighter future ahead of us for the years to come. And though we are taking a drastic and different approach with this remake of Pirates that will detach itself from Captain Jack Sparrow, we ask everyone to keep things with an open mind as we take our time to develop this fresh new story that will properly support DEI. This is not to be confused with any sort of agenda-driven tactic. We here at Disney do not support any kind of a culture war, and that is something that I have to make abundantly clear to everyone who is aware about our recent shift in content for all things Marvel, Star Wars, and the rest of our brands at the Disney company. It's in our best interest to no longer support Captain Jack Sparrow, and after careful research we have come to the conclusion that we don't necessarily need to keep expanding upon that character to expand the Pirates films. Those who claim our support of DEI into the upcoming Pirates remake are only creating a culture war themselves, and it's very irresponsible as it gives off the wrong image that we intend to by the Disney company and all of its divisions. Now guys, let me just stop here before I move on to all of the other nonsense that Bob Iger spews. This is once again nothing more than another strategy by Bob Iger to lie to the shareholders, to keep them pretty much clinging until the following year in 2025, and rinse and repeat, right? That's what Bob Iger does. He will say whatever he has to say to keep the shareholders on board for the following year and really just keep on doing that vicious cycle. So here's the problem with this, is that he's saying that DEI is not an agenda. Well, the reality is, Bob, it is an agenda. We all know this, right? Anyone who's watching this right now knows that DEI is 110% an agenda. This is why it does not work. Why? Well, it comes from a very inauthentic place, a not-so-genuine place, so to speak, and it is 100% also used as a tool to do things that distract the audiences from a proper story or proper character development. This is why a lot of remakes and or reimaginings of movies and or TV shows or just sequels entirely by Disney have not worked as of late. And it's tarnishing the Marvel brand. It's already tarnished the Star Wars brand down to nothing. And this is only going to make Pirates of the Caribbean into an irreversible mess once this Pirates 6 movie drops, if you want to call it Pirates 6. Again, there's been multiple drafts that they have created that did not work before in the past, and now we have The Last of Us showrunner leading, of course, this movie, which is really just not going to work in the end. Let me tell you, based on all of the cast decisions that they have made for this movie, it is a living proof that you need Captain Jack Sparrow. If there's no Jack, there's no need for a new Pirates movie. In Bob Iger's mind, you don't need Jack Sparrow. You don't need Johnny Depp. You just need the Pirates of the Caribbean logo or the branding to make it work. That's how a lot of these CEOs think. They think that it's just going to make money just because it's called Pirates of the Caribbean. And this may work in some franchises or brands out there, maybe, but in the sense of pirates, you absolutely need Jack Sparrow. That's what you think about. That's the first image that pops in your mind when you think about that movie. You think about the ships, and of course, you also think about Jack Sparrow. Let's be honest here. Now, he goes on to conclude, "We will be proud to announce an updated cast in the months to come for our new Pirates film that will respect all ethnicities and those with different backgrounds and beliefs that we firmly believe will empower the franchise beyond expectations. A release window for this new installment is actively being discussed as we prove, of course, to do things differently over time to provide everyone an update about that shortly. We believe it's the right thing to do to reimagine our properties moving forward to reach a wider audience." So it seems like Bob Iger is so latched on to the concept of reaching a wider audience, a more global audience, as he puts it. And this is what they did with Doctor Who. This is why it's on Disney Plus, and it's not going to be good for the next series/season of Doctor Who. If you thought the last one was bad, just wait. Now, BBC is more woke than Disney, we know that. That's just a given fact. But it's not going to help with Disney on board, allowing BBC to take advantage of the Disney Plus platform. So, interestingly enough, this is yet again another fun example that Bob Iger is clueless. I would love to hear what you all have to say about Pirates of the Caribbean 6 or this remake, whatever have you. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.